Yo, what's up? Yo. This short, colorful street has so much energy and it's exactly what I expected from Cebu and from the Philippines. Welcome to Cebu in the Philippines. I'll be here for the next few days exploring the most popular attractions and wandering the streets looking for the local stuff too. Join me as I capture the raw side of Cebu and explore for the first time. I'm already seeing the chaos and excitement of this beautiful, colorful country. Let's have an adventure. Happy travels! It's already late in the day, so I'm going to keep walking along this busy road. Got my coffee with me. And we're going to go to the first stop, which is the urban side of the Philippines that I think a lot of people already know about. It's really cool to see how these two kind of spaces coexist. You've got this one behind me that feels traditional and the older style. It's like Kyoto. And then back over this side, it's like the more modern version, that the place that's already been developed. Yo, what's up? Yo. This short, colorful street has so much energy and it's exactly what I expected from Cebu and from the Philippines. Such a great spot. As soon as I got my camera out to talk to it and say something, straight away these little kids were so into it, wanted to be in the video. With just a few minutes walk away, the whole world has changed. Check out behind me, all the skyscrapers, the modern buildings, and of course, the mall. The Philippines, I think, is pretty well known for the mall. If you didn't know that, now you know. The Philippines loves the malls. These two worlds remind me of when I lived in Brazil, where I lived in the favelas in Rio de Janeiro, and I lived in the south in Florianopolis. These two different worlds of, let's say, the more simple side where people live a much simpler life versus this side behind me where there's a lot more wealth. There's a lot of happiness on the other side that we just visited. Now let's go have a look in the mall and see what that looks like here in Cebu in the Philippines. Came across to another country to go to the mall, but that's what's here. And there's definitely a Starbucks up there, and of course Uniqlo represent Japan. Uniqlo. Let's take a look inside. I think we got to go past security. So straight ahead, there's a security check. It's just kind of like you'd expect. It's a mall. It's more or less copy and paste around the world, but maybe it is a safer space for some people who like to travel with more comforts. It's got everything that you need here, but maybe not the same kind of chaos that you find out in the streets. So it could be a relaxing space for some people, but there's much more of an international vibe here. I see a lot of people from all over the world hanging out here, so it might be a bit of a safer spot for travelers. I think it's definitely worth trying out both worlds, the more chaotic and colorful side, and then maybe you need to relax and come to the mall here and have a break and chill out. Which one do you prefer more? I came to the mall to pick up a SIM card, but they've told me just to get an eSIM, so I can just go and do that by myself online. So I'm gonna get out of the mall, escape from here, and go to the next stop. I've had enough of this luxury. This place just caught my eye. It's like a little temple house in the middle of all this concrete jungle. Ah, Manny Pacquiao running for senator. It's pretty cool, just on the streets. Fort San Pedro is the oldest Spanish fort in the Philippines. People come here to get a glimpse of the colonial past, check out some old cannons, stone walls, and just chill in the gardens inside the fort. While all of the history is important and interesting, what actually stood out to me was the atmosphere around it. There were people everywhere, playing sports, hanging out, just enjoying the day. It had this really good energy, relaxed, social, and kind of uplifting. So even if you're not big on historical sites, it's worth stopping by, just for the vibes alone. This might be the most famous landmark in Cebu. It marks the spot where Spanish explorers planted a cross when they arrived here in 1521. It's a symbol of the start of Christianity in the Philippines. It's one of those places that's more than just a tourist stop, because for a lot of people here, it's still deeply meaningful. You see people coming up here quietly to pray, lighting candles, making the sign of the cross. It's not just history, it's part of everyday life. And seeing that kind of connection right in the middle of a busy city gives you a small window into just how important faith is in Filipino culture. It's a short stop, but it's a powerful one if you take everything in. It's interesting to me that the religious aspect of the Philippines came across from the Spanish colonizing the Philippines. But the strength of the religion, the connection here, the love for religion, feels stronger here than it does than Spanish countries. It feels that way. It's nice to see that people are so passionate about this. This place is known as the oldest street in the Philippines. It was built in the Spanish colonial period and used to be the heart of Cebu's commercial and cultural scene. These days it feels like a mix of old and new. You've got street vendors, jeepneys, students, shops, everything packed into this busy, chaotic stretch. It's not polished or touristy, but it's full of movement and real life. What stands out most here is how alive it is. Short stay rooms, pretty affordable if you just want a few hours to rest. There's quite a few of these rooms around this area, so I'm guessing this is an area that you might get lucky in, the best inn. There's so much going on around this area. I love the energy and the atmosphere. It's a fun place, but it is hot, it's sticky, and it does smell a bit like sewage here. It's a bit run down, but this is the oldest street in the Philippines, apparently. So what can you expect, I guess? This is like Times Square. Saturday night. So much action here. This monument is supposed to capture the story behind the colonization of the Philippines by the Spanish. And it's really cool. But actually there's something else that's pretty cool that's going on over here. And this is what I like about traveling. I mean, I came here to see this this monument, and I'm glad that I did, but it's also brought me another experience back here. Just past the I Love Cebu sign, there's a street ball game happening. How cool is this? This is the stuff I like to see. I'm back at a mall for dinner. I had no idea. I put this in the navigator. I ended up here. I kept searching for the best lechon in this area in Cebu City, and it keeps coming up with this place here. So let's give this a try. Back in the mall, another mall, just as big and grand. Minor setback. Turns out that one doesn't exist anymore at this mall, so I have to go to another one 10 minutes up the street. So it hasn't been updated on the map that it doesn't exist. It's just a little hurdle. Lots of little hurdles in the Philippines. This is lechon paksiw. It's lechon cooked with vinegar, garlic, laurel leaves, and spring onions. I had it with garlic rice. I didn't film myself eating it all, but I didn't really need to, because you can see that I emptied the bowl. It was really good. And I went for this mango pudding as well at the end, which was also really good. But locals here tell me that the lechon at House of Lechon is really overpriced. So just keep that in mind. You can find this much cheaper in other places. And people tell me here, this taste is very similar. Price aside, I still really enjoyed everything, and I emptied everything. I got to the restaurant late, so I missed out on the lechon that I wanted, lechon kakar. But I can find that tomorrow at lunch. This is my hotel. Looks pretty swanky. I can see a rooftop bar up there. You'll never guess how much this place is. I'll tell you in a minute. Mactan Grand Golden Hotel. Not yet really on Google Maps. This great guy here doing a good job on the door. I'm a bit shy with putting the camera on people's faces, so I'm just gonna go straight up to the room. Okay, here's the foyer. But I'm not gonna show everything because I'm too shy. Let's go up. Live music up the top. Hidden Star Restaurant and Bar. I should go and check that out. There's quite a lot of stuff here. Ta-da! Let's take the shoes off at the front. Keep it how I like it. I've already been in here, so it's going to be a little bit messed up, but I'm going to show you what it looks like, just give you the gist of things. This is a solid, beautiful stay. Have a look at this. There's a massive bed. I'm actually going to go to the 0.5 here to see everything. Boom, there it is. Bed is huge. And yeah, I've already made a bit of a mess here, but it's a huge room for what I've paid for it. I'll tell you in a second. That's the room, air conditioning, important. Windows with a pretty nice view, actually. I've had a peek out there. I won't see it now, it's dark. And then the toilet shower room. Hey, what's up? Zoom back into me. What's up? This is nice. Marble stuff. And yeah, the shower's nice. It's like a mirror with a button. Boom, probably from China. That's cool. And got my Japanese perfect whip here. And the shower's pretty nice. Hopefully the water is hot. We'll find out soon enough. But the cost to stay here, $20 US per night. Let's go have a look upstairs at that at the function area. I'm curious. Let's go check it out. Wow. This is actually really cool. Check out these tables, they light up. These are so cool. This ball up here is like a firework. Okay, I didn't know there was a pool here either. It is now 1 a.m. and I got chatting to some of the people that work here. I want to quickly summarize some of the stuff that I picked up today, some of the stuff that I learned today. I'm going to start with those guys first. So the woman who I was talking to, she was living in France and she moved back to the Philippines. And the guy I was speaking to, he was living in Saudi Arabia. Both of them said they were getting paid really well, they had good jobs, but they decided to come back to the Philippines. The woman specifically said she decided she didn't want to have that same predictable lifestyle. And she just said she could predict what was going to happen for the rest of her life. Sleep, work, eat, and just repeat. But she said when she compares it to the lifestyle she has here in the Philippines and her getting in touch with her culture, it's much more colorful and more entertaining. There's like a rooster, I can hear in the background. I don't think she's wrong. And the rooster now. Just from this day, you can see how much energy and what a vibe there is here in the Philippines. She was telling me that people live here to live. They work and they work really hard, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But they work hard, but they also play hard. And it sounds cliche, but they work and they spend money and they spend time with people and they share. The message that she said in the end was to just live that simple life. The example she gave was whether she drives to somewhere in a Lamborghini or whether she drives to that place on an old scooter, motorbike in the Philippines, they're still going to arrive at the same place. It might be a bit quicker in a Lamborghini, maybe if you break the rules, but you're still going to arrive to that spot. And what's the rush to get there? It's that journey that makes it all fun. While I was growing up, most of my friends in high school were actually Filipinos. And on the weekends from Friday to Sunday, if I spent time with the Filipino community, I spent it with a large group of people. And it's quite different to me from a British culture where we would kind of have that separate private time to ourselves and put up walls a lot, close doors and make up stuff to not have to spend time with people. It's part of like how I guess the British, Australian, and maybe American way is that we have these goals that we're working towards, and nothing's going to get in the way of that because we've got to be disciplined. It's okay to have that, but I think it's also good to remember that we're only alive once. What the guy said tonight that I met up on the 6th floor, it doesn't matter if you don't sleep. It matters if you don't wake up. Of course, like it does, you need to sleep, but the thing that matters is if you don't wake up and do those things and enjoy life to the fullest. The hotel I was staying at is on Mactan Island, which I don't recommend unless you need to use the airport or you're able to stay at one of the beach resorts. Otherwise, try to stay in a central location in Cebu City. That's where I'm changing to today. This is my second hotel. Shoes off. Card. Boom. Alright. This is what we got going on here. This light fixture. The lamp there. This mini kind of kitchen thing. The classic. That shower combined with the toilet right beside it, which also doubles as a way to stop the water from coming out. For the Philippines, you are not supposed to flush the toilet paper. Whatever you use should go in here. Don't want to flush that toilet paper and clog the pipes. I guess you can have a shower straight away after you've done your business or while you're doing your business. Do we have a view here? Let's take a look. Ooh. Let's look. Now I'm right in the center of Cebu here. Center of Cebu, but I cannot escape these roosters. Somewhere down there. And they, for some reason, just keep going all night here. Ooh, look at that down there. Some kind of cafe, restaurant. Corner bakery. This is pretty. Good morning, this is day 2 in Cebu. And for today, I have a couple of things planned. First, I just transferred my stuff across to this hotel. Again, the budget is around $20 US per night for this place, which I think is slightly below, it's slightly below what the average is. I used to do all the backpacking stuff. I've still got my backpack over here. Now I don't have to do that so much. I'm not looking for the cheapest bed. I struggle with sleeping in the dorms now just because of the noise and everyone in and out. I'm a very light sleeper, so I usually go for my own space. I say that and this place just looks luxury to me, but this is below the average price and I go for the best prices. There are 2 things I do not want to miss while I'm here. One is the museum. I want to find out the history about this place, and a museum is going to be the best place for that. Being in a city, this will have probably the best option on this island. The second thing is the night markets, or the markets in general. It is Sunday today, and I think I should explore the food here in the central city part, which will have, I think, probably more options and a broader variety. So that's the plan for today. So I'm gonna pack up my mini bag, which is my day pack, and head off into the city. When I travel around these places, you never know of any dangers, pickpockets, that kind of thing. And a lot of people tell me it's common that happens, theft happens around the Philippines. Even the locals here tell me to take care of my stuff. Put my backpack at the front when I'm on a bus. Always be aware of where my phone and my wallet is. One of the things that I like to do when I travel places like this that I'm not too sure of, and just when I'm traveling in general, is to carry 2 different wallets. One of the wallets is for the smaller money. So this will carry the coins and loose change, plus some of the smaller notes. So I have easy access. I don't need to pull out my wallet that does have more cash in there. It's not too crazy if I lose this. This one rides up front in my pocket. My second wallet has the more important things in it, and this one goes in my back pocket. It's secured by a zip. It'd be really difficult to get this one out. This wallet carries bigger notes and my cards, and a couple of IDs that I have. Plus this super cute Isioka card for taking trains and transport in Japan and buying stuff from vending machines. How cute is this? This wallet is by Pioneer, and I love this wallet. The quality of this fabric is super nice. You can see how beautiful this is, how nicely made it is. Great construction. If you're interested in this wallet, I have a link to this in the description of this video. You can get a nice discount on the Pioneer products. Now I'm all set to go. Let's go check out a coffee shop. And you've probably spotted this one right here. I don't want to say too much about this coffee, but that I'm going to get another one. Let's go find a real coffee. This is the small coffee shop I could see from the window. Looks awesome, so lush. Looks good, but I'm gonna save this one for later. I have somewhere else in mind. I've had that marked on my map for a while after doing some research. At this hotel and residence that I'm staying, they actually have this security gate. which is pretty common for the Philippines, but this one is actually a really legit one with a real guard hanging out there and the bar that goes up and down to add an extra layer of safety to this community. Look at the water meter system here, how many there are, all connected in this one spot. This would make the water meter reader's life so easy. Everything's all compact. These are some monster sized apartments. This nice little walking track, this big beautiful swimming pool for these guys in the towers, I guess, to relax and enjoy. And then over this side there's this like small pool deck, it's called, little cafe section, place to hang out. The security gate wasn't for my hotel at all. It's just for this one massive apartment complex where people can live this life in safety. Very different to the area where I stayed last night that felt very local, and probably the people who work at the airport and also in all of the resorts on Mactan Island. This is probably the more expensive, wealthier part. Wow, look at this butterfly. Ah, so cool. This whole conversation's changed. Come on, butterfly. The security guard at the gate was nice enough to let me just pass through. And he said, "Where are you going? Do you live here? Are you staying here?" And I said, "No, I'm just passing through to get a coffee from the coffee shop." And he said, "If any guard asks you what you're doing here, just tell them that you live here." So that was nice of him to let me go through this beautiful place and to see that. Somehow the coffee is kind of sweet, but it's bitter as well. I'm undecided if I really like it or not, but it's better than what I had this morning. There are two words that I've learned in the last couple of days. One is sarap, which means something like delicious, I guess, and the other is matapang, which means bland. And I'm probably saying this completely wrong, so I'm sorry for destroying it. But that coffee that I just had was something in between sarap and matapang. You can comment if I'm saying this wrong down the bottom here. I'm doing my best. Another thing I've learned in the service industry when I'm paying for stuff with cash in the Philippines or in Cebu, people repeat when I give them the money. If I give them 100 pesos, they say, I've received 100 pesos. That's something I've noticed as well, paying with cash here. Where does that come from? I understand the idea behind it, but who teaches that? Is it just something that happens in culturally, like in your upbringing? I'm curious. next stop is the museum, but I've just seen these guys. Let's check out what they're doing first. Cebu! This place is cool, I love this place. I'm back down Fort San Pedro for this museum, which is on the other side of the fort. On Sunday, there's just a good atmosphere as on Saturday. Everyone's out, enjoying themselves, having a good time, making the most of the weekend. Not entirely sure what the whole stick thing's about. It looks like a martial art or a dance. Let me know in the comments if you can tell me what this is. It's already past 4 o'clock. It closes at 5, so I gotta get to the museum. Finally made it to the museum. Let's go and look what it's all about. One of the rules at the museum is that you're not able to take video inside, but you can take photos. So let me show you some of those photos I took. The exhibits cover a mix of archaeology, local history, Filipino art, but a highlight for me was how they push for conservation. One section focused on mangroves and how important they are, not just for the environment, but for the communities that live around them. Mangroves help protect the coastline, support marine life, and even absorb carbon. It was cool to see that kind of messaging in the museum setting in Cebu. Another exhibit was all about Filipino produce and food, and honestly, it made me realize how little I actually know about Filipino cuisine. That got me thinking that I really should explore the food side of things more, and luckily, I'll be heading to the night market later on. Hopefully, I'll get the chance to try a couple of new things. The exhibition here was short and sweet. I think it has a nice amount of information to grasp what's going on in the Philippines across a lot of different topics and subjects. Yeah, it's cool. I recommend this. It was free as well. It didn't cost me anything to get in. One of the surprises they had here was how many younger people there were here, like in their teens, mid-teens. I think most of them are just taking photos, but it's cool to see that they're in an educational space like this. This reminds me of high school. That's what we used to do back in the day. Spend all the money decking out the car. Hey, how much is this? 60. 60. Thank you. This coconut is huge. Let's give it a try. Yeah, it's amazing. Very sweet. I'm gonna need a spoon or something for this. I think I'm carrying one, but I can see there's all this coconut flesh. I'm gonna have to go back to the dude and ask him to cut it up for me. It's hot and it's humid right now. It's actually not as hot as Japan gets. It's very, very comfortable. And if it was a few degrees less, I'd actually put something on. I'd put something like another layer on. I've just ended up here at this Ancestral house. I have no idea what that means. It says it's a 10th generation house and it's got the year 1675 on there. I'm not sure if that's how old it is, but I'm gonna have a look at this and see what it is. It's so bright and colorful. It reminds me of my Nokia 3310. Did you guys have the Nokia 3310 or like the 8210? And you change the lights, you change the screen, you change it from like that yellowy color to blue. That's what this reminds me of. Wow. So much stuff. Decorations of Christianity. The old construction of these wooden barras and joists. Old floor. It's really held up. Can we go up here? Up these old stairs. Oh, you can see the tiles on the roof. Must get wet in here. This floor is beautiful. It's so uneven. The level, if you put a ball over there, it's gonna roll all the way here and probably down there. This is what all of my Filipino friends' houses look like. That's why they cram so much stuff in here. All the decorations. It's very pretty. Big open windows. Sit everywhere. All of this Catholic stuff pasted all over this place. This view out here. That's pretty. The streetscape down there. All right, let's have a look in the courtyard. A few visitors down here. Ooh, this is really what you call an armchair. It's just for your arms. Oh, that's a beautiful view. They've really managed to fit so much stuff in here. It's impressive. There's actually a lot of details, you know, all of this on the doors, for example. Things are carved out and shells are placed in there. Oh, this is the bedroom. I'll flip it around so you can see it. Luxurious bedroom. These must be some of the ancestors that have been here for 10 generations. They really managed to, I guess it's been 10 generations. They didn't collect too much stuff in 10 generations. It's one of these armchairs again. They really are as army as an armchair can get. Oh, talking about the army. Let's go back downstairs. This room here is the room of baby Jesus Christ. I think you just heard him crying as well. Wow. I am lost for words about all this stuff. Behind the wishing well, over the back here, seems like there are some caged chickens. Okay, this place is very interesting. I think it's worth coming and take a look at if you want to look at a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. This place has an entrance fee for foreigners. It's 100 pesos. It's pretty cheap and reasonable. If you are living here or if you're a Filipino, it is free for you. There are a few attractions that have this. I think some of the museums, those kind of things, have free entry for locals and a pretty reasonable priced payment for internationals. I think Cambodia was exactly the same, except it wasn't necessarily a reasonable price. It depends what you think reasonable is. Here is about $2 US, $3 US for entry to some of these places. What do you think? Local pricing. Japan's talking about that now. I wonder if that's something Japan should implement. Speaking of Japan, they have this pretty cool little bonsai here with a crying, I was gonna say Buddha, but a crying thing at the bottom of this little bonsai. And a Chinese dragon on the side. Let's get out of here and keep going. I'm gonna go towards the food markets now. After looking at all of the food in the exhibition, in the last exhibition we went to, seeing all of the types of food in the Philippines, I wanna try some over at the markets. Let's move on. I gotta take a second to appreciate this tree here. There was an attempt to contain this tree, and it's just sprawling through that fence. It's a mini Angkor Wat. I think this 2-day trip wouldn't be complete without one vital experience. Let's go and attempt to have it. I'm here to ride a jeepney, completely packed full of people. No idea how to do it, but I'm gonna give it a try. Let's ask someone and find out how to get to Sugbo Mercado. The answer was take a motorbike, plain and simple. So I rode that instead, and I'll have to save the jeepney for another time. I just got to the Sugbo market, Mercado area, and it's a lot more organized than I expected. It seems like there's a lot going on here, but it's all new and modern. Maybe I will find somewhere that's a bit more chaotic, but let's have a look. It's very well organized and spaced and clean. Let's go check it out. Mango dragon fruit. This food market tonight really summed up well what my Cebu trip was all about. Great food, good people, and a mix of culture and things you can see and try for the first time. I had a great time here in Cebu, and I highly recommend anyone to come and try this place. From here on, I think it's great to step out and look at other aspects that Cebu has to offer. Like, subscribe, and follow along to see where my journey takes me. For all the details of where I visited, check the description of the video. If you have any questions, or if you have any recommendations for Cebu City, please write them down there and share them with everybody. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one. Happy travels!